Welcome back to the 980s podcast hosted by yours truly, Kevin Thompson, founder and CEO of 980 Capital Group. Thank you guys for joining us. As I always say, subscribe to the channel. As I always say, go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@9icapitalgroup.com. Send us your questions or go to the website at www.9icapitalgroup.com. Schedule your appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, and engage. And today we're talking about finfluencers. I am sick and tired of finfluencers because most of them may be doing the right thing, but there's a lot of them out there that are not. So we're going to give you some tips, tools, and ways to figure out if the person that's giving you financial recommendations and financial information online is legit. You don't want to miss this. Let's get it. There's been a rise in the finfluencing. And what is finfluencing, for example? So finfluencing is basically just financial influencers, right? Financial influencers. So that's what that basically is. But you have to discern legitimate advice from misinformation. It's important to discern these things because there's been a rise in the world of financial influencers. So I wanted to have this conversation because in the beginning, when it all came out, people like myself that are certified financial planners or in the industry were actually just giving out just regular advice. What is a Roth IRA? What is a traditional IRA? How do they differ? Should you what happens if you put money into your 401k? How does that work? Well, how's the tax implications work and all of that? Just simple information, not necessarily advice. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is this. The reason why people like myself doesn't necessarily give you advice is because we cannot give you advice. I cannot give you advice to a general audience because it's against the investment advisor's code of ethics. It's against what the general, our investment advisor, fiduciary standard stands for. We cannot give you guys recommendations because we know nothing about your situation. Therefore, if there are individuals on these networks, whether it be YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you, and they're giving you advice on what to buy, what to sell, what to do, they are not registered in the industry. So first thing I'm going to say is check the industry registration. How do you check industry registration? Good question. So I'm going to give you two ways to do it right now. Broker check. Broker check allows you to go in, type in the individual's name. I'll use my name here. Once you type in the individual's name, a bunch of different names will pop up. You'll find the one that you're working with. The first thing I would say is this. Look at their disclosures. If they have a lot of disclosures, you can pull those disclosures down and see exactly what those disclosures look like. Is it financially related? Most likely it is. Are there misdemeanors there? Most likely there are. There's something there in their industry or in their lifeline that's going to give you some insight on that individual. So it's important to understand that, first off. Secondly, you're going to go in here. Industry experience. Why is this important? Because you need to see exactly what their experience level is. As you can see, it says 11 years of experience for myself. I've been with two separate firms, which is Park Avenue Securities and TD Ameritrade. And now I have my own firm, 9i Capital Group. But it's important because this is going to tell you a lot. What this is going to tell you is that, are they a firm skipper? Do they skip from firm to firm to firm or jump from firm to firm to firm? And if they do jump from firm to firm to firm, if they've had 5, 6, 7 different firms over 10, 11, 15 year span, what is that reason? A lot of that can be said by, well, they have a bunch of different firms, Bob, because they have disclosures. But if they don't have any disclosure, they have a lot of firms. That's going to tell you that their compensation structure is either commission based and they weren't necessarily doing a good job on the commission scale and they jump from firm to firm to firm trying to find a better opportunity. Or it could tell you that maybe they just were not happy at those firms. It tells you a bunch of different things. And if you want to meet with that person or have questions about it, I would ask that individual about those things. It's important to understand, well, why do you have so many firms on your CV? Next, this will tell you about their exams that they have passed. Have they passed any exams in the industry, and are they up to date? They don't have to necessarily have any exams passed to be in the industry. They could be non-registered, which is fine. They could be an RIA outside the industry, which is fine. But this will tell you if they're in the industry in a registered rep capacity or an IA capacity. This will tell you what that looks like. And finally, what their state licenses look like. Now, as you can see, mine says 0 here, but I do have a state license that's not through FINRA. This is FINRA related. This right here is FINRA related. Now, if you don't see them here on FINRA like mine, you can also go to the SEC website, which is the IAPD, and you'll see what this looks like here. You'll start seeing some more things about that advisor. You'll see once they registered with other firms, what that looks like, and how many exams they passed, and where their license at. As you can see, this is my investment advisor. I'm an investment advisor through 9i Capital Group, and that's why you're seeing an additional terms of service here, because I'm no longer with FINRA. Because again, broker check is through FINRA, IAPD is through the SEC. So now I'm registered through the state of Texas and the SEC or the SEC. So you're starting to see that come up. So that's important. So that's step one, knowing where your advisor is registered, if they're registered in the industry, and what it looks like. Now, let's talk about step two, background checks. Background check. This is the fundamental thing you need to be doing from a standpoint of what someone's life looks like and if they're telling you the truth. You can do a background check very simply through Facebook or LinkedIn. But if you don't want to go through that route, you can also go through their Instagram and all the other stuff, their social channels. But you can also just give them a name, give them the Google search their name and see what that looks like. And figure out who they're connected with. It's important to see who they're connected with, what the company says about them, all these different things through all these different social chains. And ultimately, what you can do if you want to go a little bit deeper, see who they're connected with, if you're connected with them, and if you have a relationship with them, and ask them questions about this individual. All the stuff that's in the background will come to life once you start asking questions. So the first thing I said was about if they're giving you advice, they're not likely industry registered. I said, then what you need to do is go to the broker check or IAPD SEC website to figure out what that looks like, check on their disclosures and things like that. Then I said, do another background check through their social media channels, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever else they're using. Now, let's talk about content. Their content that they're pushing out to you. Are they Bitcoiners? Some people call them shitcoins, but are they Bitcoiners? Are they giving you the ultimate bait and switch? What is the bait and switch? You've all seen it. The bait and switch. Hey, they'll give you this fancy, this sexy bait of a hook, of a title. But then ultimately you get into their content, and it's about something entirely different. Or maybe that title is at the end of the content. Are they baiting and switching you? That's important to understand. Analyze the frequency and the nature of their post. When are they posting? Are they posting at certain times of the year? Are they posting only during events where they can get more followers? Check out their content, how that content's being used, and ultimately what that content is trying to produce. Next, are they making recommendations like I mentioned before? Because there's a legal compliance behind it. There's an implication to this. Making public financial recommendations is prohibited if you're not if you're in the industry. If you're not in the industry, hey, by all means, go Jim Cramer it all day long. Go sit out there and say buy, 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 sell, sell, sell. You can do that if you're not in the industry because you have no recourse. Legitimate professionals are not going to give you information such as advice, not publicly. So understand that. And lastly, look at their engagement quality. Do they have all these followers, but then very few engagement is their true content? Some people have tens of thousands of followers, but get very, very few commentary on their feeds. Of course, on my feed, I cannot have commentary at this present time because it's not Texas doesn't allow it. Texas doesn't allow it from state registered firms. So I cannot have commentary on my feeds. That's why you don't see anything there. But we can still have likes and things like that. But it's a real big deal about testimonials and things like that from a state registered firm. Also, look at testimonials and reviews. But again, like I said, you're not going to find any on my firm because I can't have those at this present time. But seek out reviews and testimonials from others who follow these individuals. Be wary of overly positive and negative reviews. They can be fabricated. A lot of these people are buying views. They're buying followers. They're doing that because that's going to boost up their channel. They're giving you the clickbait. They're giving you whatever you want just to get eyeballs on their channel. Again, consistency and transparency. Check for consistency in their messaging and transparency about the methods they are using and the results. Look at third-party verifications and validate their expertise. And check out, this is another most important one, check out the professional memberships that they claim to have. Are they an FPA, financial professional associations, NAFA? Are they a part of any of this stuff, or are they just an outside rogue office? So today on this 9 Innings podcast show, I wanted to bring to light these finfluencers. Yes, you finfluencers. You guys out there that are just showing out, talking about shit coins, talking about all these different things, and expecting not to be deemed irrelevant. There's consequences to this. The issue that a lot of these people don't understand is that they can't come after you for your recommendations because you have no recourse. And I want to bring to light the fact that there should be recourse for what you're saying. And when someone actually follows your recommendation and is hurt by that, they should be able to come after you. You should be liable for it. But ultimately, you're not at this point. But my job is to open up the eyes of the individuals that are following you. So today on this 9 Innings podcast, I hope this has been a valuable use of your time. I want you guys to understand that not all that glitters is golden, and that you guys have the power to change all of this. Thank you guys for following me. Subscribe to the channel. Go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@9icapitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.9icapitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, and engage. And we were going after those finfluencers, you phonies, you charlatans. There's people out here doing it the right way, like my buddies in the industry, the CFPs out there as well. Look out for those channels. Follow those channels. They may not get a lot of engagement, but they're giving you great information. Stay humble, stay safe, my friends. I'll see you again soon.